Hi, I'm Maria. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist here at the Elmhurst Wellness Institute.
Hi, my name is Julie Griffin.
Hi, Julie. It's great to meet you. So here at the Elmhurst Wellness Center, we do focus on providing alternative treatment and therapies to substance abuse and rehab services to our clients.
Yes, I'm aware of the services that are offered here.
Okay, well, great. Let's begin then. I do want you to know that everything that we do say in here in this office will be private between us both. This is what we call confidentiality. However, there are a few limits to this confidentiality. I would have to report you if you are in any harm to you or to others, whether it be emotional or physical. And through my reporting, I would have to report you if you are abusing or neglecting any children or elderly people. So I will hand you the confidentiality form. This form just goes into more detail about what we just discussed. If you have questions, just let me know, and I will need you to read and sign through it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, so the next form is actually the release of information, which means that you give me authorization to share any type of information about our sessions with other professionals, whether it be other psychologists or social workers, police officers, parole officers, or anything in that nature. You can specify what kind of information you want to be shared. So I will hand you the form. Okay, thank you. So let's begin. Okay, Julie, so I see that you were referred by Sally, is that correct?
Yes, I met Sally while I was working at the biomechanical engineering firm that I was working at. It was a firm run from a family friend of ours, and she recommended that I see a social worker to help me overcome some of my issues that I've been having.
Okay, yeah, I see. So tell me what brings you here today. What kind of issues are you looking to get resolved?
Sure. Well, it's been about 6 months since I quit my job at the firm. I decided to quit and move away from my parents. I used to live in New York, so
Okay.
6 months ago I decided to quit my job.
Oh, wow, thank you for sharing. It must have been really hard to quit that family job, especially moving away from your parents. Why did you decide to move away or quit your job?
Yeah, well, thank you. It was pretty difficult, but I decided to quit my job because I just couldn't take another minute being around my parents. They were just really overbearing.
Okay, yeah, I can just sense the distress in your voice. Can you please go into more detail about the relationship with your parents?
Sure. Well, my relationship with my parents isn't very simple. It's kind of messy. In 2010, a drunk driver was driving and hit my sister, who was in the car with some friends, and she ended up passing away from the car accident. So it was a really, really hard time for me and my family, especially for me. Being my twin sister, she was my best friend, and we just had a really strong relationship. So ever since she died, my parents have kind of projected their anger and their frustration on me.
Okay, yeah, I can see how painful that must have been for you and your family, especially losing your sister, your best friend, especially just someone special overall for you and your family.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been really difficult. But the worst part of it all is that ever since she passed away, my parents have kind of constantly scrutinized me, compared me to my sister. Like I could never live up to what they wanted me to be. So I felt that I had to be this perfect daughter for them, but I just could never win. Like I was always coming up short.
Yes, I see that you couldn't. It seems like as if you couldn't live up to your parents' expectations. Does that sound correct?
Yes, I never felt like they were ever proud of me, no matter what I did. I just was never doing what they wanted. So no matter what I did, it was just wasn't good enough, and all that pressure kind of got to me when I started college as a freshman.
Okay, and can you tell me how you've dealt with the pressure from your parents?
Well, at the beginning, I tried really hard to be like my sister. I started to put a lot of more effort into everything that I did, especially school, because I really wanted my parents to be proud of me. But they would just get really frustrated when I didn't act like her. So just, like I said, I could never win.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like it's been a very heavy burden for you.
Yes, it was. After a while, I just grew really tired of trying to impress my parents, and that's when we began to fight more often. We'd get into these arguments a lot, and at just one point, I just couldn't take it anymore, and that's when I decided to quit my job and move away because it was just too toxic of an environment.
Okay, well, thank you for opening up. I remember in our initial phone assessment that you resorted to using heroin and Xanax sometime during college. Do you feel that you might have resorted to drug use because of your parents?
Yes, I did use drugs in college. At the time, my boyfriend Kevin, he introduced me to drugs. He told me that these drugs would help alleviate my anxiety about school because, like I said, I kind of threw myself into my schooling to try to impress my parents, so I just had a lot of anxiety and just pressure on me. So he told me that using drugs would help with this anxiety, but at the time, I just also wasn't over my sister's death, so I thought using the drugs would help cope with all of that.
And if you don't mind me asking, are you still using drugs?
No, I stopped using drugs after I broke up with Kevin in college. I couldn't stay with him any longer. It wasn't a good relationship.
Okay, and why did you decide to break up with Kevin?
Well, he was very emotionally abusive towards me, and I just reached a point where I just couldn't stay with him anymore.
Okay, well, I commend your bravery for leaving him. I know that it can be sometimes hard to leave an abusive relationship.
Yes, thank you. It was pretty hard to leave him, but I couldn't have done and gone through all that if it wasn't for my best friend Haley. She really supported me through the darkest times, especially during my senior year in college.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you were able to leave that toxic relationship. And it's great to know that you have someone like Haley that will be able to support you throughout your journey. And having that strong relationship will definitely help you with your recovery.
Yeah, I never really thought of Haley like being my best friend. I never really thought of her as being a resource. But you're right. I know I can always trust her and kind of rely on her whenever things get to be too much.
Yes, okay, Julie. Well, let's talk a little bit more about your parents. I want to clarify some information. Some of the information that you have presented today. Looks like you quit your job and moved away so that you can separate yourself from your parents. You've also had some other difficulty experiences in the past that have contributed to this current situation. Does that sound about correct?
Oh yes, that sounds about right.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. It sounds like your parents have brought you a lot of suffering, but it also seems that you love them and that you want to mend the relationship with them.
Yeah, so although I admit it's been a really tough time with them, I still really do love and respect my parents, and I really do want to um, mend my relationship with them. I think that all of the pressure that they put on me comes from just a really genuine place, and they just want me to be a good person. So I don't think they're being malicious in the things that they do.
Well, that's really mature insight from you, especially something to make about your parents. Okay, so next, I was wondering if you could tell me what kind of goals you're looking to accomplish during your future sessions.
Well, first, I really want to improve my relationship with my parents because I think that's where a lot of my problems and my frustration stems from that relationship. It's been quite a long time since I've had like a really good, meaningful conversation with them and kind of confronted all my issues. So I'd really like to mend that relationship. And I also want to go back to work soon because that's another huge part of my life, and I really want to get my life back in order, basically.
Yes, that's understandable, and those are really great goals. Julie, have you maybe might have thought of taking up some hobbies? I know that hobbies and activities have helped some of my clients in the past before.
Yes, I actually have been meaning up to pick up on some piano lessons. I used to play when I was younger, so I really miss playing, and I think that maybe starting to play again would kind of help. I think
Okay.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, great. That is a good idea. Okay, Julie. So in the coming weeks, we will be working on these goals with you. We need to start mending the relationship with your parents, and I also want you to try to understand how your strengths, will help you effectively recover. I know that you have said that you like to empathize with others, you like to be a social person, and also begin to think of people just like Haley that can help you with your recovery and kind of starting that support system with people.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. I think I can do all that.
Okay, great. So we'll continue our next session and we will try to finalize some empirically based treatment plan for you. If for any reason you need to talk to someone, just give us a call back. We always have an on-call clinical social worker help our patients, okay?
Thank you so much, Maria. I'll
Yeah,
see you
you're
next
welcome.
week.
Take care, okay?
Thank
Bye.
you.